What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Teams AI Only World Battle. Things heating up again with 27 turns to go until the official end. So we're going to keep going, see if we can get down to just one, because that would be awesome if we could. That would be very nice. But plenty going on right now. We've got Rhodesia invading Ethiopia, and we've also got Australia. More by luck, there was just some cities with very low health and their boats just happened to be here. New Zealand declared the war. And they grabbed 2 cities. Not sure how long they'll hold on to these. Yeah, it was Rhodesia, obviously, who had been bombing them the whole time. We weren't sure last episode. Or maybe you were sure, but I wasn't sure. It was Rhodesia, of course. Or maybe no, it wouldn't have been the Zulu. Can't reach that far. But yeah, they may take this city, and that's 20 population. That is Ethiopia's biggest city. They'll probably fight for it back, but that would be a real blow. It looks like they're still... I don't know if they're trying to fight Mercuria here and have open borders, or they're still at war with Nigeria and the Songhai, but it's not looking good for Ethiopia. They've lost their teammate. They're doing well, though, but obviously this could be really good news for Rhodesia, because they need something. They need a win, because obviously fighting the Songhai and Nigeria would not be easy for them. So we've got a huge war broke out in East Asia. Mongolia and China once again at war with Siam and Vietnam, and this could be huge. If Mongolia wins this, they're fresh off a war as well, where, you know, they won. They didn't, destroy Russia, but they came away victorious. They now have a foothold that they can use to attack much more effectively next time. And here we can see already the air power doing its damage. Lampang here down to zero health. This city's already nearly at half health, and Hanoi is already at about halfway. Siam, you know, when desperate times like this come, you need to make a peace deal. Get away from all those other big wars, and they do just that, piecing out with the Sioux. No threat from them. Also, this is a new city from Siam. I think their borders already covered this, but it's just another city within their borders. Gain access to the Wonder. I don't think it was quite in range of this city, so maybe that's why. Or just another place to build boats, you know. Whatever it is, it works for them. I thought, is Mumbai still occupied? It's not that hard to build a courthouse, guys. It probably takes you 3 turns at this point in the game. Stop being so lazy. Just build the courthouse, and you would have access to a very nice 16 population. Well, they already have access, but they would, maybe they don't care about happiness. Maybe that's what it is. Mongolia. This is why they did damage to this city. They do have planes here. There was actually another boat here just a second ago. I assume it just died to China, at the very least. Not to China, to Siam. All these submarines, maybe. But yeah, this could get very interesting. There's a lot of units close. Mongolia and Vietnam's paradropped behind them. This is going to get very, very interesting very early on. China's navy may play a key part, because Mongolia obviously doesn't really have one. They have a small one out here. It still has a privateer in it, so won't have, high expectations for them just yet. But yeah, Europe is pretty quiet. There's a few units doing damage. I think it's mostly Poland trying to get at France, which isn't going to work. Let's be honest, Songhai v Spain, sorry. Still a little bit going on there. Looks like the Celts might be preparing to invade Spain again. Although the fact that there's nothing towards France may suggest that's not the case. They might, I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Germany v Arabia, another peace deal. Germany and Austria still pretty big team in Central Europe. You can't really rule them out, I guess. They're still 4 fairly good cities. Control all of Switzerland, Germany, Denmark, down this way towards Hungary, Austria, obviously, where Vienna is, Hungary, and all the way down into the Balkans. Can't really rule them out, but I don't really know what they can do. I don't think it's necessary that they couldn't try and throw everything at taking out Rome and Greece. It's that, obviously, if they get too weak, Russia and Poland will just swarm on in. And even France showed at times that they might be able to. Not at the moment, they sort of ran out of units, they'll need to rebuild. But yeah, France could definitely cause them some issues. Although France, it's going to be so difficult because obviously Spain can't help them. And it pretty much is the same either way. The only wars they can help each other in is a war against Britain. And I wouldn't fancy them too much for that. Mainly because Britain's fairly strong. Bit of a tech advantage. And also the Celts look pretty strong too. Although they've kept to themselves, the Celts. It's fair to say. And the Songhai actually peaced out with France, which does mean they are no longer at war with Spain either. It looks like they may have actually got open borders at the end of that war as well. Nice little You know, we were just killing each other, but now let's go walk around within each other's land. That will definitely work. The Songhai now have atomic bombs, adding to the nuclear-capable civs. See, Brazil have some somewhere. They don't have that many left. I think it was the Inca? Maybe it was the Inca that did more of the nuking. They also have a couple, 3 or 4 here. Maybe another one on this carrier. No, just bombers. But interesting. Who are the Inca trading with? Yeah, I assumed it wouldn't be America. Okay, it's Australia. It's interesting. I feel like the Inca just need like some defensive packs with some strongish civs. Like if they get New Zealand, Australia on their team, just to be a nuisance. Maybe get the Songhai Nigeria now that they're at war with America. That could be an interesting one. Get one of the Europeans, maybe Britain and the Celts. These guys could just send all their boats over. It would be like a fairly equal match. Not 1v1 obviously. This is terrifying. Look at all these boats. But yeah, wow, that is ridiculous. They're not gonna get XCOM squadded, dropped in, or paratroopers for that matter. Every single Iroquois city very heavily defended. That is crazy. Jesus. And they still keep the Sioux alive. I like that. I guess they avoid a warmonger penalty if they don't take them out, so maybe there is some benefits to it. Most literate people, though, it's still very close. 73 techs for America and the Iroquois, 72 for Brazil and the Inca. Even Mongolia and China still in the race at 71. Siam and Vietnam, 69. Is there going to be no teams on the same tech level? That'd be crazy if they all were separate. Songhai and Nigeria, 68. 67 for Poland and Russia. 66 for New Zealand, Australia. There's a bit of a drop off. I feel like they're the top civs. I mean, there's a big gap even between these guys, but I feel these are the top teams now. Australia, then you come down to the UK, Japan, Korea. Don't know why those two are split up, but they're on the same tech level. Korea and the Celts, all of these guys. 62 for Samoa and Indonesia. That's impressive. The Zulus here, Spain, France. Yeah, a lot of people on 62. 61 for the Khazar. Who's last? Well, I assume the Sioux is last. Oh, no. This is just the game, always firing shots at me. You are last. But no, yeah, Sitting Bull is last, basically. Austria just ahead of them. Austria and Germany. That is a big surprise. I mean, Arabia, I guess. I mean, they're not like that far. 59. I mean, considering 62, 63. Like, for the middle pack civs, like, there's, apart from the Sioux, there's 4 techs between the UK and Japan, the top ones, and Austria in last, or apart from the Sioux again. And then obviously we've got this separate group in the lead. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's actually a really close game, which is really cool. Rare you get that. But yeah, Germany and Austria, definitely a surprise. Thought they would be doing better than that for science. And they're still on Great War Infantry, which isn't a good sign. Russia's moved Poland's moved well beyond that. Russia still has some infantry. Poland is just solely paratroopers now. Interesting strategy. We'll see how that one pans out. There is an American Mobile Sam, currently in Russian territory. So maybe we're starting to get teams start to form. Maybe it's going to be America and the Iroquois teaming up with Russia and Poland to maybe try and counter the threat from Mongolia and China. Obviously, maybe, could we see Brazil and the Incans team up with the Siamese team? Maybe that'd be cool. Siam instantly though. Okay, this was probably China probably expected this to happen. Although I think Mongolia declared the war, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, Medina here. Been under Chinese control for a while, but this will be huge for Siam either way. I don't think Siam will die in this war, that's why I'm saying this. Siam take this, it'll be much easier for them to go after Arabia in the future. Also, they have this city now up in towards the Mediterranean side of the peninsula. Egypt have spammed some citadels to make it awkward, but yeah, once they have Medina, they're going to have far more space to land units and continue to take chunks out of this Arabian team if it is to happen again. Yeah, that's the big move so far. No cities have fallen just yet, but it is the Siamese and Vietnamese cities that are taking the poundings at the moment. China and Mongolia's cities seeming pretty safe as they dish out a lot of damage. They're starting to kill some units too. Make this very interesting. So a quick look at the demographics. It's Siam and Vietnam's turn now. See how that goes. But yeah, here we go. It's becoming less dominant. The Iroquois have fallen behind on soldiers to Mongolia. Mongolia and the Iroquois are both, I think, obviously we can't see an individual list until one randomly pops up every 25 turns, and there's a chance it won't be the one we want. But yeah, I would assume those two are very close, because they're both both of them are the two civs where you look at their cities and every single one is just surrounded with units. Land, the Iroquois are winning. Again, I think we've discovered now the sea must be included because the Iroquois don't look that big. Like America looked bigger in terms of land from this map in the corner. And I mean, America probably, that's got to be harsh. I feel like America must, I don't know. So I'm not going to get the ruler out, but America, that seems harsh. I think those two are both bigger than everyone else. The Songhai look big, but I wouldn't say they're the same size. But yeah, America being smaller than the Iroquois, I don't know about that. I don't know. GMP is just income, but yeah, the Iroquois pretty dominant, you know, nearly at 6 times the average, sorry. Production, they lead the way, which is probably more important now, because obviously they are approaching tech level. The 80 is all of them, basically. So once they get to 80, and some of the civs behind them get to 80, production becomes far more important. They dominate that one. Crop yield, they lead. That's again a surprise, because they're in the tundra, but fair enough. And Brazil currently leading for population. That one has flipped around quite a lot this game. New Zealand led it for like the whole early to mid game, just because Wellington was huge, but because of like how the number works. So I think, yeah, going from like 1 to 2 in population is a lot bigger than going from like 28 to 29, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was when New Zealand were like 5 ahead of everyone. In the early game, it made a huge difference. Now everyone's cities are quite a bit bigger, you know, going from 40 as it was at the start of this episode to 41, not as big an increase. I think that's how it works. I don't know, there's a mathsy word for it. It's not like exponential, is it? It's like it's kind of like the opposite of that, I think. Instead of getting more and more of an increase, it's kind of becoming less. It's like diminishing return to having more population on this number. I don't know, something like that. Mongolia's cities in the Philippines being attacked, but Siam, you're kind of, you know, prodding the bee's nest with a big stick here. There is 5 atomic bombs in that city. You're taking one heck of a rip. This city in particular is very vulnerable. If Indonesia's cargo ship wasn't here, I think this city would be getting nuked. Obviously the AI far more aware of who they might accidentally nuke than me. You know, just saying. I've done it a few times. Wow, we're seeing some civs that you do there are some civs who are getting access to nukes who other civs will not want getting access to nukes. So France and Spain, that is gonna send some shivers down the spine of Britain and the Celts. I think they have completed it. I would assume they have. If not, they're very close to, or maybe they're just not prioritizing it. Their technology of the units they have would suggest they have done it or are about to do it. Just like Spain and France. 23, 24, yeah. There's so many more British cities and Celt cities as well. You feel they would have done it. Obviously, that doesn't mean they've still got to go like a whole nother tech level so they can actually build the nuke. That's probably like 20, 30 turns away to being built. Obviously, the Songhai, for example, are probably the newest member to actually have built one, and they are much better than those civs. The Zulu piecing out with the Incans. Good move not to give anything away, I guess. Uh-oh. The Songhai might be about to nuke you. I don't think they're at war with them. They seem to have left that Nigerian city. These units seem ridiculously OP. Or I guess Rhodesia's Navy boats planes were helping out. But yeah, this city is probably actually going to fall. And Ethiopia's units, they look like they could take it back before. But now, that's maybe not the case. Indonesia, out of nowhere. What? I swear you pieced out, Indonesia. Okay, obviously Indonesia didn't peace out, or they declared war again and I missed it. They're now attacking. Yeah, it looks like Ethiopia is going to collapse very soon. Rhodesia have now captured their largest city to add to the border gore, as this Nigerian city in what was Burundi becomes completely isolated. I mean, it was isolated before through Ethiopia, but now Rhodesia completely cutting it off. Looks very weird. Almost certainly going to trigger a war one day. Australia's held on to these cities, and now they take another one. Didn't even see that coming. Ethiopia's islands falling. Looks like Indonesia will conquer this unprotected one. Although I say that, the submarines won't help, but these Australian boats might do the job. Yeah, Indonesia won't actually be able to take it unless they send one of these melee boats. But they got their eyes on a bigger prize. There's a 19 population city here. Sure, they will prefer to have that instead. But that is going to be it for this episode. Lots going on. It's getting very exciting. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on the video. Be sure to comment as well. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.